All right, y'all. So this video is about help on how to catch objects by touching them. And I've made a quick little code here that has, 50 little things bouncing around the screen. These are custom objects. You can tell they're custom and not just rect objects because they're all remembering their own speeds and their own colors. And I've also written the code so that when I touch one of them, it disappears. So you can see right in the middle of the screen right now is that kind of big olive green one. It's going up towards the top right. Boom, now it's gone. And if you look in the bottom right of the screen, there's that dark blue one. Boom, it's gone. And I'm just going to catch a bunch more by tapping on the screen. And this is going to be the point of my game, is how much time does it take you to catch all of these little dots on here? And you can see that I'm doing a very poor job of catching the little ones. So a review on how the custom objects work. You make a new class of thing. I called it dots. And when a dot is born, you tell it all the things to remember about itself. So I've got, 9 different attributes or characteristics of a dot that it needs to know. It's got to know its own X, Y, width, and height, its own RGB color, and its own speed. Now, I defined the width and the height first because I wanted its starting position of the X and the Y such that it didn't appear halfway off the screen. I wanted to ensure that every single dot showed up on screen. If I didn't do that, if I instead just said, oh, it's somewhere on the screen like so, there's a chance that you can see over on the right-hand side, that lime green one and that kind of brick colored one, they're kind of trapped on there. I didn't want it to do that, and so I told this thing to make sure that it was within its width of the edge of Bob. What's Bob? Well, Bob is the nickname I gave to my scene. So when I build this thing, I say make the little dot's X position somewhere between 0 and the dot's own width away from the edge of Bob's screen. Random colors, random speeds, and everything. The other thing that I've done for my custom object is define a function inside of this class, which is called a method. So this function right here, this frame, is only going to work for objects that are this class, for dots. So I'll be able to call dot.frame, right? That's odd, dot frame, and it will give me back a rectangle that just so happens to have the same X, Y, width, and height as my dot. And the reason I want to do this is there's a lot of things that are really useful for me to do in using a rectangular object. These capital R objects have this ability to test if there's intersections and also ability to test if a point lies within them. And this is a really easy way for me to test, did I catch the object, is to say, did this point actually lie within a rectangular object, right? Did my fingertip land inside one of those dots? Well, I can't do that because the dot isn't a rect object. So I just define a quick little function that says, make this imaginary like shadow. Make this imaginary little hitbox that just so happens to have the same X, Y, width, and height as the dots, even though the dots themselves aren't rect objects. Okay, so here I am making 50 dots. That's using list comprehension. That's a different way for using a for loop. Don't worry about that. And I'm filling each of them with their color, and I'm drawing each of them, and I'm moving each of them, and I'm handling the bounce business. See, I can also use the max X and max Y here. That's another nice way. Another nice part of using frame is that I can say, did the right edge of my dot go outside the screen's view? So this is just kind of a nice little review right here of how to handle bouncing and moving and stuff. Braden, Eric, you're welcome. This is a nice little review of how to do a custom class object. In terms of how we're going to go about testing, did my fingertip land in that teal one, or did it land in that maroon one, or did it land in that big tangerine colored one? You can't say, did my fingertip land in any of the dots? Let me be clear about this. You can't say, did my fingertip land in any of these things? You have to tell Python a more specific question. And the question is, did it land in the first one? Nope. Did it land in the second one? Nope. Did it land in the third one? Nope. You've got to use, a for loop that says for each in all the dots, look at each one of these 50 dots and say, if my touch location is in that specific one's frame, then remove that one from the dots list. You can't say if touch.location in self.dots, because it won't be. It won't land in the list. You have to iterate or loop through each one of those dots and say, did I touch the red one? Nope. Did I touch the blue one? Nope. Did I touch the green one? Oh, yes, I did. And if that's the case, if my touch did land in the green one's frame or the turquoise's one frame, then remove that one from the list right there. All right. Another really quick, easy way to get to test if your fingertip has landed in any of the dots is to iterate through all of the dots and test for each one. All right. So we've got a nice little screenshot ability right there, and that should do it.